Hello. This is the Thethrell, also known as now Dogopotamus. For any of you that follow my Facebook page, I've been trying to keep up on giving out whatever tips and stuff I can. And one of the things I posted a few weeks ago was all the maps for dimensions. Now, I've had a few people asking me how they work, various questions about them. So what I wanted to do today is to give you guys kind of an idea of what I do for dimensions. Anybody that's kind of following other people in the game or what people on your server are doing, you might have noticed a lot of people lately have been purchasing this rider's chest up here. Here we go. This thing right here, you can see I did it once today, got bupkis. But anyway, you can get some really good stuff out of this rider's chest, and the great thing about it is it takes bound balance. And don't bother with this one over here. It only gives you crap. But this one over here, if you do it 10 times, and you can do the buy one at a time, but I just generally wait till I have 4,000 balance to buy 10, and then I've gotten some really good amounts out of that. In the 4 months I've been playing now, I'm climbing up on the server rankings for mounts pretty quickly, and it's all due to this thing right here with bound balance. So anyway, you guys should know how that thing works. But where a lot of people are getting the bound balance from lately are the dimensions. With the new dimensions, I know a lot of people don't like them, a lot of people do like them, but what is great about these things is that they do have a pretty good amount of bound balance mines if you know how to find them, if you know where to look. So we all know, how to get to the dimensions, how to open this thing up, whatever. And specifically what I'm referring to as far as helping you guys out is with these maps that I've kind of put together. Here I just have the basic ones, but for all 4 different types of dimensions, the basic, advanced, intermediate, and expert, there are only 5 maps. And I know a lot of people had confusion about this for some reason, but it does not matter what element you're in. If you're looking at this map, this one, I think this is a fire right here, but this map you can find it in light, wind, electro, it doesn't matter. The elements do not matter whatsoever. All you need to look at on these maps is these little obstacles right here. And using those obstacles, you can figure out which map you're on, and then from there you can figure out exactly where an eyeball will be, and these eyeballs is what leads to a Balin mine. Now, keep in mind, the eyeballs will not be there every time, and even if you find an eyeball, there's not definitely a Balin mine in it. You might just get junk. There might just be nothing in it. There might just be one of these shops that nobody ever buys any crap from. But the guidance here is you want to try to open up as many mines as you can and try to go look for just these eyeballs. And I've taken it kind of a step further. I've added the final towers onto each of these. And these you only find in the final stage. We'll get into that a little bit more. And so my strategy for these things is, because a lot of people will just look for the eyeball, close it out, delete it, open up a new one. But if you have 1,500 energy, what my strategy is, you open a basic mine up. You look for that that eyeball on the first map. That's the only place it can possibly be, is that first map. And if there's an eyeball, great, kill it, then finish clearing the mine, kill all the towers, because you have to hold on to it for 24 hours anyway, so you might as well get the daily rewards. If there's no eyeball, immediately go to the end of the dimension, go find this tower, and then kill that, because these things can give you will crystals, resistance crystals, and a good amount of them. I believe it's 10 level 2 will crystals or 10 level 2 fire resistance crystals. And if you end up going through 30, 40, 50 dimensions in a day, like I sometimes do, these things really add up very fast. So you can end up building up your will crystals and your resistance crystals really fast with these things while you're looking for the eyeballs. And Yeah, you'll burn through a lot of energy really fast that way, because these towers cost 75 to 77 energy depending on your resistance. But they take a bit of energy just to attack them, and then of course getting to them takes a few energy. It doesn't take much. But what I do is I search for them until I get down to about 500 energy. If I get down to 500 dimensional energy, then I only look for the eyeballs and then delete the dimension. If I end up coming back on later in the day and I have a lot more energy again, then I might continue going for the towers. But basically, you can do you can hit quite a few of these towers and hopefully get good rewards. Yeah, they do have some crappy rewards, like 10 revives. Absolutely useless to most players. The people that actually need revives aren't going to ever make it to the tower anyway, so the revives are really the useless item there. And the other thing you can get is 200 energy, which is actually good, because 200 energy means you can kill a couple more of these towers. So I like it when I get energy. Some days I've gotten so many will crystals and resistance crystals, it's just crazy. But anyway, let's get on to the dimensions. I'll show you more what to look for and stuff like that. Yeah, one other thing I did want to say before we start that is the entrances to these things are not always in the same spot. If you're on this map right here, you might start over here somewhere, you might start over here somewhere, sometimes you might start up here. But if you do enough of these things, you will learn where the entrances are starting, because they are all in certain spots. And then as soon as you open it up, you can look and realize, okay, I know which map I'm on, I know the exact route I need to get to where the eyeball is, and it becomes very, very fast. I can generally go through like a week or two ago, I went through 15 in under 10 minutes, and I wasn't even that fast at it yet. I was still needing to look at the maps, but once you really get these maps under control, you can just start flying through these things really fast. And like I said, the eyeballs will all be in the same spot. Same thing goes for these towers. Towers will all be in the same spot. These final towers will be in the same spot. The exits and the little whatever these bonus exits are that go to the secret unknown area, these are all in the same spot. So I wanted to include all of these things on this map, and it's really working out. So I hope this can help you guys out. Let's go over to the game and pop open a dimension. This one I got a mine yesterday, so I'll just open that just to show you guys what these things kind of look like. You see, I started out here. To get to there, I had to go all the way around here. I mean, I could have used the function to get rid of all of the obstacles, but that is a complete waste of energy. You'll burn through energy way too fast if you do that. It is much more energy efficient just to go around. And you will run into, like, the tower was here, I had to kill the tower. There was a monster here, I had to kill the monster, and there was another one somewhere in here, I had to kill him. But that's fine. Go ahead, do that, get around to there, and then once you get into this eyeball, that's where these dotted lines come to. Because I've had so many people messaging me saying, how do I get to the area on the dotted line? You can't always get there. The only way to get there is with these eyeballs, and they're not always there. Last week I was having some really good luck with dimensions. I went through, I don't know, 30 or 40, and I got 4 eyeballs that had dimensions in them 2 days in a row. So I had 4 dimensions 2 days in a row, which was nice. Saturday and Sunday I went through I think a total of like 120 dimensions, and I only got 1 mine out of the whole time. So some days are bad, some days are good. Don't just say, I didn't get any today, I quit. Because then you're missing out on some really good stuff. I know that these things take time, they're boring, but once you do get used to them, like I said, you can fly through them fast. Have a few minutes before world boss, go burn through 5 or 10 of these things. That's what I do. I just find 5-10 minutes here or there, I just jump in, burn through a whole bunch of them real fast, go back to world boss or whatever it is that you need to do. But this is what it will look like if the eyeball actually appears. And then once you go in there, You can see it's not a full map, it's just a tiny little map. It'll be dark, you have to explore it, blah blah blah. And then here's what the mine actually looks like. You click on it, you'll have to kill a few weak little monsters, and then it'll say, congratulations, you're the awesomest person to ever exist in the history of Wartune, or something equivalent to that. Anyway, and this is what it will look like. You go to mine rewards, and this is on the opening page too before you even enter dimensions. You don't have to enter a dimension to collect your mine rewards, but you can open up the mine rewards. You can see here how much time I've got left. This is a rare one, gives me 50 bound balens per hour for 24 hours. That equals 1,200 bound balens, which is nice, of course. There are two types of mines you can get. You can get these rare mines or a normal mine. The one I had on there just closed a short time ago, so I can't show you guys that. But it's the same thing, except it only gives 20 bound balens per hour. So that comes out to 4,800 bound balens over 24 hours, which is still pretty nice considering it's completely free. You don't have to pay any real money for these dimensions. Daughter trying to boot my nose. What I do is I go into the guild, and in case some people have forgotten, a friend of mine was just saying earlier he felt kind of dumb because he completely forgot that you could buy these. But you can spend a total of, this will cost you 50 million gold to get 50 of these chests a day. It's not, it's not guaranteed to give you basic ones, which to me kind of sucks because I don't use advanced or intermediate, so when I get them I just sell them. But you can get, 35, 40, 45 basic just from here. If you want to get guaranteed some basic, you can get 5 a day from here, which will cost you 50 fangs. That's not that much. As long as you do your guild events every day, you'll easily get 50 fangs of fear, or you can get them pretty easily from archaeology now. So you can get a good amount of these basic mines per day, and hopefully increase your chances of getting these. Okay, so now let's go out, open up a new one, and oh yeah, before I do that, different people have different levels of VIP, or people who don't have VIP can't open up the same amount of dimensions. When I get days when I get a lot of these mines, you'll see I won't have any expert dimensions open. I'll have 4 basic ones open with mines in them. But days when I'm running out of basic mines, if I burn through 50 basic mines or basic dimensions and I haven't found any mines, I'll go ahead and pop open an expert one. That way at least I'm getting the daily rewards for it, because once you have the maps for these too, and you can sit down and figure out the quickest route, you can go through these pretty quick too. I was able to finish one. It only took me a couple hundred energy to complete the whole thing. So once you figure these out too, if you don't know where these maps are, you can go to my Thethrell page on Facebook. I've posted them there a few times now. I just posted a thing today about how to find them on my page, because sometimes it is confusing trying to find old posts and stuff like that. If for some reason you can't find them, if my directions aren't clear enough for you, you can always message me, and I'll send them to you directly, or I'll guide you to where they are so that you can always find them. What I recommend is do what I do. Pull them up on the computer, save them to your desktop. That way you always have them. That way I pull them up in Paint, always there for me. I can pull up the advanced intermediate ones if I ever, God knows what reason, wanted to do one of those. And I've also got the expert ones, which those do sometimes come in handy. But anyway, okay, let's get back to this. Let's go ahead and open one up. You can see I've got a bunch of basic here. Pop that open. Boom, boom. Okay, so from where we're starting, you don't see any of the things yet, but you can sometimes, just from the amount of space you have, you can tell which map you're on. So to make this a little easier for you guys, because I already know where I'm going with this, but we'll try to get a couple of spots in here just to give you some guidance. So we've got 2 whole rows of clear space with a mob there, and then these 2 little ones on the bottom. And there we go. So we know we're looking at this map right here. and the eyeball will be down here. So I want to go forward. No eyeball. Now what I can do is I can go right for the exit, which would just mean I go here, go straight up, and then over to the exit, and then go ahead to the end and look for that final tower. So I'll go ahead and do that just to show you guys what I'm talking about. If you want to kill those towers, go for it. I don't usually waste my time unless there's a dimension event on. Okay, so looking at here, I knew where this exit is as well, but looking at the formations on here, we would pull up the map. We were starting over here. Which one is this? This one right here. No. Space, obstacle, obstacle. This one right here. So I was starting right here. Boom, this is what map I'm on. If you wanted to go get the tower for any reason, but I just want to go to the exit. This is another very common one that you get a lot in the end. And so if you wanted to explore just to try to figure out what obstacles you have around you, this is a very common one that you'll learn on the first map. This is where the eyeball would be. But to find that final tower, we're looking over here. You can see we've got these two rows down here. None of these other maps have those two rows on the bottom. And so to get to that final tower, you want to go over here. Okay. And boom, there's the final tower. This dude. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. That was busy. Dimension energy, not bad, but you can see the rewards that are possible from this thing, and I do get these pretty often. It's not like this is a 1 in a million chance of getting this thing. I do get these several times a day. This one's several times a day, so my will crystals and resistance crystals are building up pretty fast. But now I'm done. Leave, open dimension back up, cancel that bad boy, pop open another one. And I'll just try to burn through these. No eyeball there, and since, well, the exit's really bad. So at this point, I hope you guys grasp what I'm trying to do on here. I'm just going to try to burn through a few now just so you see exactly what I'm doing. Elizabeth, what are you doing, Miles? There's a lucky one. You get the exit starts right next to the final tower, which is really nice, so you don't have to go searching for it or figure out which map you're on. Now, I'm not planning on doing one on the expert dimensions. I hope you guys have those figured out now, but now that I've explained the maps a little bit, I hope you can figure out the experts on your own. But if you guys really, for some reason, need me to do one, of course, I'll try to help out and try to get a video done. It's really hard for me to get videos done lately because I'm taking care of my baby most of the time on my own throughout the day, and so it doesn't really give me much chance to record videos. But as always, you know, I'm trying to help you guys out, do what I can. And this one right here, this was a bad start. This is where the eyeball should be. What happened, what I do when I get this, sometimes you'll start right on the spot itself where the dimensions, where the eyeball is supposed to be. These, I'm not going to sit there and bother going through because I'd have to go through the tower, have to go through a couple different things to get to the exit. So for this one, boom, I'm just going to leave. There's no eyeball there. Cancel this bad boy. Open up another one. And that's how you save yourself some time. This is the one that I actually already had an eyeball in that I showed you guys already. I kind of like this one just because you have to go through the portal just to get to where the eyeball is. And that way, once you're done looking for the eyeball, you don't have to go searching for the portal. You can just open up your dimensional map, as I'll show you in a minute. I wish they'd stay a secret. Normally I only have Damnation equipped on my mage, so I end up just going through these really fast, but I was doing Endless Abyss and had to try to equip all my normal skills. That is another way to make this faster, is if you just put on your main Eudemon, just put an area attack. Speeds things up. That way you use an area attack on the first wave, he'll use his area attack on the second wave, and your secondary Eudemon, if you have a halfway decent secondary Eudemon, will kill the boss. So you can kill these things really fast. So as you can see, there's no eyeball there where it's supposed to be. So what we're going to do is just open up Dimensional Map. Just go right to that second one. Rose Hazel I do actually still need. This one I have to go through the regular tower to get to the final tower. But not a big deal. Just wastes a couple extra seconds of time. I try to avoid fights and stuff when I can, just because I try to burn through these things as fast as humanly possible. But it's not always possible to avoid fights. Okay, so I'm not going to waste any more of y'all's time by sitting here and going through until I find one, because, you know, sometimes you can find them after 3 or 4, sometimes it takes 50, sometimes you just don't find one in a day. So, but if you guys have any questions about this, I hope I've explained it well enough. I try to always be as detailed and thorough as possible, as well as using as basic English as possible, since I know a lot of my fans are not native English speakers. Which, hey, you know, that's cool, whatever. I'm never going to bust on anybody for trying to speak another language. I'm working on learning 6th or 7th, so I know how hard it is sometimes to speak a different language. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me or comment on my YouTube page, whatever you want to do. But the one thing I do ask is, if there's something that you can search for yourself on my page, please do that. I am a very, very busy person, and I don't have time always to look for stuff just because you don't feel like looking for it yourself. So I used to just do everything for everybody, but I can't spend 20 hours a day answering questions anymore. I can't answer over 1,000 messages a day anymore. I just don't have the time for it, and for that, I'm sorry. But I do have a child now, and she takes priority over strangers. So help out however you can, but please try to find out information yourself first. Just if you can't find it, or if you have a good tip for me that I might know, or if you want to see something, go ahead and shoot me a message and say, hey, can you do this, or hey, did you know this? I love getting stuff like that. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope this helps some people out, at least a few people out. Feel free to pass on any of this information to any of your guild pages, whatever. Thank you.